Am I the idiot? H for throwing my brother's prison trauma in his face. My brother has always been an angry hot-headed thug. Since he was a small kid he showed violent behavior, idolized gangs, and would just generally be a prick to everyone. Hess the kind of guy that goes on about respecting him and tries to intimidate everyone just because he can. When he was a teenager, it escalated dramatically, and our parents tried whatever they could to fix it. He started using drugs when he was 16, by the time he was 19 he went to prison for 2 years. Prison changed him. After he got out, he was not the same guy. He flinched when you touched him. Slept with the lights on and added an extra lock to the door of his room when he stayed with my parents. He was broken. He eventually had a full-blown mental breakdown where he started talking about what happened. It was about as bad as you expected. His combative nature isolated him day one and made him a target for all kinds of abuse his entire sentence. He's been in therapy for years. He's 32 now. He went back to school, met a nice woman, and is actually turning his life around. Our relationship isn't perfect, and it will never be fully healed, but he's trying to actually be a human being. The problem has been the last couple months. You can see it on his face. The way he acts. Hess slowly going back to his old ways. He acts aggressive around mom and dad. When he's out he tries to pick fights again. The people he hangs around with are known violent felons and suspected dealers. He had a girlfriend for about a year, but she left him because he started frequently screaming, throwing things around their apartment, and threatening to hurt her. It's obvious he's on drugs again. He's slowly unraveling and throwing away years of progress. Our parents tried talking to him. Offered rehab. Offered for him to stay with them for some time. He flipped out at our parents and after years of his crap they simply walked away and blocked him for the time being. They spent years and countless dollars before and after his sentence to try and help him. They were done. I tried talking to him. His place was a mess and he had empty alcohol bottles and pill containers scattered around his place. He got hostile very quickly when I pointed out the obvious and threatened me. I snapped and brought up what he told us about his prison time and told him it would all be waiting for him again if he doesn't fix his shit, and that this time his family won't be waiting to help clean up his mess. It shut him down super quickly, and he just curled up on the couch and weakly told me to leave. I've felt terrible since I brought it up, but he is gladly throwing away years of progress for the same crap that got him in trouble in the first place. He knows what prison is like and he's doing everything he can to go back there. He's spitting in the face of everyone who went to bat for him, chasing the same highs that almost destroyed his life. Now for the comments. Commenter 1: Not the idiot. Sometimes you just can't help the drowning man who's slapping you away from saving him. Even if they're family, they're not worth it, despite the emotional connection. There are thousands of people who are in your brother's position, and they're actively trying their darndest to stay on course for their family, friends, and themselves. Commenter 2: Not the idiot. Somewhere along the lines he fell back in with bad people who had him relapse, and somehow, he compartmentalized his past prison trauma. Probably to justify his relapse and tell himself it's okay. You are giving him a loud reminder to wake up if he doesn't want to go through all that again. It may be tough, he may think you're the but he probably 100% needed to hear it. I hope he reaches out to you, since you seem to still be open to contact and asks for help so he can get better again. Update: last night my brother got high and trashed his apartment. He punched holes in the walls, destroyed furniture, and busted windows. Utterly destroyed his place. He tried kicking a neighbor's door in and throw rocks through their window when they yelled they were calling the police, and threatened to kill them. Police came, he tries fighting them and got his back beat badly. They took him to the hospital. He calmed down for enough time to call me to the hospital. It was unintelligible, but I got the gist of it, and yes, I shouldn't have gone to see him. But by the time I got there he had lost his shit again and was in 4-point restraints. He was screaming and practically feral. I couldn't even get any words in before I decided to leave. From what I can gather from the cops there I talked to, they found a ton of drugs. He assaulted a police officer, destroyed his apartment and damaged a neighbor's front door and window, threatened to kill the neighbor, tried to escape arrest, punched a nurse, bit a tech, and to top it off he was already in trouble for sending death threats to his ex. So yeah. He's going back to prison for a much longer time. I'm done with him. Our parents are done. Everyone is done with him. And frankly, I'm very okay with that since I finally am free of the stress he brings. He didn't learn a damn thing. Edit: the post is gaining some traction that the original didn't, and some people are confused as to the context. This is an update. Check my profile for the original post. Now for the comments. Commenter 1: With everything he's done, cutting him off might be the best thing for everyone involved. Commenter 2: Congrats on your parents being done with him. My husband has a brother who has done that kind of shit his whole life, in and out of prison, and almost certainly murdered their beloved uncle. Their parents worship the ground he walks on. Lifelong eternal golden child. He is the preferred invite to holiday events over my successful engineer husband and our family of 6. The evil one is older now and out of prison, currently living in the aging parents' home and running the show. Commenter 3 My mom went to prison for 4 years when I was 5. Grandma adopted me because my dad was not fit. I was never mad. Always made my whole schedule around going to see her on visit days. Answering every single phone call. She got out, got back with my dad. 45 days later she had to finish her sentence. She got 10 years total but only had to serve 4. I will never forget jumping on my trampoline, being handed the phone and hearing her tell me she got drunk and high. I stopped jumping and told her I am done. I grew up that day. So you're not the idiot. Some people never learn a thing and they expect sympathy for having a pattern of horrible decisions. Update 2 It may have not been the best idea, but I decided to have one final talk with my brother the other day before I made my decision to cut him off. After his episode at the hospital, he has been locked up for the time being. No one has even attempted to bail him out. I have no idea about how charges or a trial are going, but it will take a while. As far as I can tell, there is some matter of determining a possible psych hold, but there's a lot of gray area with that, and I frankly don't have much of an idea how that works and won't get myself more involved to find out. We only got the chance to talk for a few minutes. I didn't visit, he called me over the phone. I straight up asked him what was going on. Why did he do this? What caused his slip the last few weeks? And the thing was, I was expecting some emotional response, a plea for help, maybe even some reasoning. But that didn't happen. Instead, he asked, why not? I asked what he meant by that. He just kind of smugly laughed a little. He started rambling about how the bitch's ex should watch out for him when he gets out. I quickly reminded him that these calls are monitored, and he needs to watch his ducking mouth. He told me to go duck myself and he only called to see if I would post his bail. I was practically pleading, asking him why he was doing this. He got agitated, said he doesn't ducking care, started screaming how he doesn't need us, and you could hear him get into a scuffle with what I'm assuming was an officer watching him before the call got cut. I was practically speechless. He doesn't care. He maybe never did. Some people in the comments and DMs were making assumptions about myself and my parents. How we handled his behavior and mental health care. Ever since he was a kid, my parents spent every spare dime and minute of their lives trying to help him. Pediatric mental health care, therapy, group activities, extracurriculars, anything to try and steer him on the right path. They put me on the back burner for years because of him. Our relationship almost got tanked because they wanted to help him so much. When he got out of prison and had his breakdown, it was practically a clean slate for him. He never apologized for what he did. He didn't have to own up to his family for what he put us through. We all just tried to help. And he took this second chance people would crawl over broken glass for and threw it in our faces. For him. He gets what he wants. To be utterly alone in prison. I'm no fool. He likes to push us far and try and reel us back in, but after this, I am truly and utterly done. Our parents are in the process of removing him completely from their lives. They are livid. He's spending a much longer time in prison, and if he ever gets out and looks for someone to help him pick up the pieces of his life, he's going to be sorely disappointed. We tried to help. He didn't want it. I'll answer some questions if anyone had any for a few days before torching the account. Now for the comments. Commenter 1 To be honest, I feel it would be wise to be sure that when if he gets out, there is no one for him to come crawling to. I don't necessarily mean move though, that might be smart if it's possible to accomplish, especially for the ex who was literally threatened in your conversation. But I think you and your parents and everyone need to make your worlds as though he no longer exists. He gets out, family? He has none. These people don't know him. Friends? I'd be shocked if he had anyone before he landed his punk bitch butt back in prison, so that might not be an issue. But it's time to burn the final bridge. Torch it down. Ashes to ashes. Original poster. Commenter 1 I hope his ex takes steps to relocate in case your brother tried to recruit his friends to hurt her. I also hope he stays in jail for a long time. Original poster I'm aware of a couple sketchy guys he was hanging out with, and it seems they've all disappeared. I'm guessing he's trying to throw people under the bus. He's probably thinking he's dropping valuable names, but in reality, they're all just losers. Commenter 2 Your brother is going into the hole so fast that his passage from the prison gates to solitary will be visibly redshifted. Commenter 3 I doubt he ever gets out. There's undiagnosed mental illness at play here and the system doesn't spend a lot of time trying to help people like your brother. I suspect he'll do something in prison this time to make it, so he never gets out, or he'll mouth off to the wrong person and well, you get the idea. There's nothing more you or your family could have done. He had his one do-over. His demons got the better of him. I don't think you'll ever hear from him again unless it's for money to buy food and jail. Commenter 4 Please tell his ex to stay safe. She needs to know he threatened her and should be made aware of when he gets out so she can take her precautions. Do the same for yourself and your parents, which seems to be on good tracks. Your brother fell into a big hole and is still digging. I hope for him he'll reach rock bottom and understand it would be better to get out of here. But I won't hold too much on that.